Hello everyone, welcome back to the Queen of TV channel. Now some quick things before we get into our intro. Please watch the video to the very end and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There will be cursing and profane. If that's not your cup of tea, this channel is not for you. Lastly, I will be giving my honest opinion about the episode and the show as a whole. So without further ado, let's get into our intro. Welcome everyone. I am your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princesses. You're either a subscriber or you are a viewer. Either way, welcome. Today we're talking about H2O Season 3, Episode 16, The Dark Side. So, obviously, I believe that we're starting to get into the straightforward episodes. So, let's just jump right into it. We start this episode with the girls going to Mako Island where they are stressed about the full moon. Rikki and Bella both have a disagreement about who is the better person to help them, either Zane or Will. Cleo said they both could contribute. So Bella ends up asking Will about helping them out during the full moon. Will wonders if the others are okay with this, and she says yes. That also means that he has to also help with Zane, meaning they both have to be in the same room together. Will thinks on it and decides to go ahead and do it. Rikki ends up asking Zane, who's excited because he's like, finally, you guys asked me to help. But Rikki reminds him that he never offers to help. So he agrees to help as well, and he even cancels his card game hangout with all his guy friends. Because that's who he's been spending time with most of the time while Rikki's been doing her own stuff. He lets Nate know that they have to cancel the card game, and Nate says, alright. So Cleo gets home and tells her dad about the little get together they have at the cafe. She's able to convince him to let her go. Kim wants to go as well, but her dad says no. Kim feels like it's unfair, but Cleo is older than Kim, and plus Cleo is 18, so Dom trusts Cleo more because she's more responsible. So the discussion ends with that. We then go into the next scene where Will and Zane show up at the cafe. They both find out that, well, Will already knew. Zane finds out that Will is also helping. He is upset about this, and him and Will get into a disagreement. Rikki breaks it up. This continuing this feud for right now, and Zane walks off and leaves. So we see that Cleo is heading off to go to the cafe where everybody is supposed to be meeting at. Well, while she's leaving, Kim is pretending that she's going to stay up in her room all alone and just chill there to Sam and her dad. Wearing a bathrobe. In reality, she's all dressed up, and she has invited her friends to go to this party at the cafe. Well, we get to the cafe and we see that Zane has invited all of his friends. They're going to have their card game. Zane's being petty about it. Will confront Zane about his friends being there. Obviously, Zane don't see no problem with it. He obviously did this on purpose because he's mad and all up in his feelings that he has to also help with Will. But Rikki shows up and she's not happy about it. And Zane is on the fence, doubling down with her too. So they go to the office and they go talk. And he's obviously upset that they sit there and ask Will to help too. And Rikki accuses him of being jealous. He denies that he is being jealous. Rikki is upset with him. She feels utterly disappointed. It results in Will asking if everything's okay. Zane says that if he wants Will to leave. Rikki lets him know that if he's leaving, she is too, and she tells him, then you wonder why I don't ask you for help. So she ends up leaving, storming off, and she goes to the pier. She's about to face the tentacle by herself. She's run on adrenaline. She's running on anger. Will tries to calm her down and convince her not to go. He makes the wrong move and trying to put his hand on her face, which upsets Rikki and makes her uncomfortable. And she ends up jumping into the water and going out to face the tentacle. She does get there eventually, and she sits there and waits out all night up until the point where the full moon actually creates the tentacle and she comes face to face with it. Cleo does make it to the cafe after Rikki has already left, and she is wondering why is all Zane's friends there and asks about Rikki, and Zane acts like he doesn't even care. Will calls Cleo and tells Cleo everything that's happened and what's gone wrong. So Cleo tells him that she'll meet him there, but then Kim shows up with all her friends, talking about they're going to enjoy the party and whatnot, and Zane and his friends don't even stop them from showing up, so Cleo is kind of stuck babysitting Kim. Eventually, Bella shows up, and Cleo fills her in on everything. Well, Will eventually gets fed up and confronts Zane, talking about how they thought they could rely on him and everything, and he said that they can. Then she tells him, well, he need to fix this. He tries to get everybody to leave and whatnot, but it's too late. Cleo and Kim's dad shows up, making matters worse. He sticks around and looks around the room and everything. And then it boils down to him having a conversation with the girls. Cleo trying to convince him it's not a party, but Kim's making it worse, acting like it is. Well, she ends up regretting that because he stays and decides to sing karaoke. And now Kim is embarrassed. It's obvious that Kim doesn't like the fact that Cleo is an adult now and she's allowed to do these kind of stuff, and Kim is just being completely childish about it. Obviously not understanding she needs to grow up and understand that she has to earn those type of privileges. But when Rikki comes face to face with Tentacle, she's asking it what does it want, and it doesn't even harm her. It goes near her. She has a bonding connection with it, and Will sees this. The tentacle tries to attack Will because obviously it's trying to protect her from people that could expose her secret. So obviously now Rikki has figured out what's the tentacle's deal. She tells it to leave him alone, and it shines this light inside of it. And I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. This light that's glistening inside of the tentacle is the Tower of Light. The tentacle is made out of pure energy, pure magic. So it's not evil at all. It never was. It's been trying to protect them the entire time. So it ends up leaving. And Rikki apparently now feels strange. She feels disconnected. Because now she's like seen another side of this. While after everybody has left, Rikki and Will do show up and they ask Rikki what happened. And Ricky's not giving any answers. She feels very discontinued at the moment. She's not giving nobody no answers. Not even Zane, who says that from here on out, he's going to be there for her no matter what. And that whole incident will never happen again. Well, she goes into the office where Will confronts Rikki about not telling everybody what happened out there. But Rikki tells Will to keep this a secret. She even has his promised. And he promises, and that's the end of the episode. So obviously the dark side is about Rikki going to the side of the tentacle and keeping that information for herself. This is actually a huge ass problem because that's not gonna end well, because I know how that ended up turning out for her. And in case somebody's confused, I'm already in the review. But Rikki has now ushered into this thing where she's going to start becoming emotionally and physically and mentally attached from everybody around her. because now she has bonded this deep connection with Mako and the tentacle. She's completely and utterly wrapped into it. She's gone full on mermaid at this point. She's no longer Rikki. It turns off the entire balance of her life. She's no longer just Rikki who's a mermaid. No, she's just full on Rikki the mermaid. And this leads to a lot of issues. This causes a rift between her and Cleo. It obviously is a growing rift between her and Zane, but that's kind of been brewing for a while now due to Zane's jealousy. But even more so, it affects Will because he has to keep this secret. I mean, he doesn't keep it forever, but he keeps it long enough to where these rifts begin to start. And by the time that Rikki has to open up and talk about what's happening, the new villain already has the suspicions come in. Okay? This is when we get introduced to a new villain in the next episode. And if Rikki hadn't been so damn secretive, this person would have not gotten close enough to Mako. I feel like if Rikki had just told Cleo and Bella what had happened and that the tentacle's not actually trying to harm them, it's trying to help them, and to tell them what went on, they would have eased up. But because she let Cleo stay in this paranoia about the tentacle and about what's going on in Mako, it led to them having a growing rift, and it led to somebody getting too close that shouldn't have gotten as close as they did. Zane in this episode, he obviously let his jealousy go way too far. And now that Rikki has been completely and mentally checked out of like her entire life, she's going to start acting weird. He's not going to be able to like get a hold of her. So what he's thinking in his mind is that she can't forgive him for what happened that day. Which would be very understandable considering that the way that Zane acted was wrong. And again, like I've said, like this isn't like season 3 changing everything up. This is not who Zane really is. The show changed him too much. Season 3 is a terrible season. No, this is actually an issue with Zane. I've never brought it up in season 1 and season 2 because doing that, I would have to talk about season 3. But this issue with Zane's jealousy of them relying on other people and not having him be a part of it has always been an issue. They've never asked Zane for help, not one time. It's either been they did it by themselves or Lewis would be the one that comes in, right? Even though Zane knew the secret too, Zane was never actually a part of the group. He just knew the secret. Lewis was way more a part of the group before he became Cleo's boyfriend. And the only reason why Zane even knew the secret is because he was Ricky's boyfriend. Lewis did not have that privilege. Lewis had a gold card. He knew the secret before he dated Cleo, and even after he and Cleo broke up, he remained knowing the secret. He remained a part of the group no matter what happened. Will is not even dating Bella. He finds out the secret and he now becomes a part of the team. They ask him for help. They let him be a part of the group before and after Lewis leaves. But not Zane. So Zane obviously takes offense to this and gets jealous over this because he feels like the girls never asked him for help with anything to do with them being mermaids. Because now, with Lewis gone, he would think that they would come to him, and ask him for help. No, they go to Will. Will, who is the new guy, who just came in the group. But they feel like they could trust him enough to where they can involve him in their mermaid business, and he hasn't even been here long enough. Zane has been here since season 1. How come Will, who just came into the picture, is all of a sudden given the opportunity to just be officially a part of the group, while it took them years to give Zane that leverage? So yes, I can understand where it's coming from. What I'm upset about is that Zane decides to do the most pettiest shit in the world to sustain this jealousy. Like in the previous episode, not the previous episode, but the episode 14, he almost got Will killed just to prove that he's better than him, just to put him in some type of place he's supposed to be in. And now in this episode, he invites all his friends when he know full fucking well if the full moon comes up, the tentacle is going to come at the fucking cafe and start causing a lot of fucking paranoid shit going on. So how are they supposed to explain that to a room full of people? Let's just say Rikki didn't go to Mako Island. Let's say that Rikki didn't show up at first. It was actually Bella and Cleo that showed up, and then Rikki came afterwards. They all three decided to just come together at the same time. The tentacle would have attacked by then. There is water every fucking where. Everywhere in that damn cafe. What are they supposed to do? Does they not realize that he has put their secret at risk? If Rikki had not gone to Mako Island, despite the fact that that led to Rikki being checked out with everybody, she would have not been checked out. That whole experience would have not happened if Zane had not done what he did. All because he could not deal with the fact that, yes, the girls do not ask for anything. But at the same fucking time, Zane has shown that he felt that the girls, like, didn't always need to be together. And he didn't want to deal with the mermaid stuff. Let me take you back to season 2, episode 24. It was Lewis's birthday. Zane asked Rikki to hang out, and she told him she couldn't. She had stuff to deal with. This mermaid stuff, and on top of that, it was Lewis's birthday. So he told her, and I quote, she could take a vacation from the mermaid stuff for 1 day. Not his exact words, but what he was getting into. He does not always want to deal with the mermaid stuff. Literally, when Sophie started wanting a job there at the cafe, I'm trying to remember the exact episode it was. I believe that it was episode 7. Yeah, episode 7, Happy Families. Rikki wanted to hire Bella. Because, I mean, hell, shit, Bella's working anyway. What's an extra shift to help with the money with the band? Oh, no. Zane was like, oh, yeah, another one of your friends. Another one of your mermaid friends. He has an issue with Rikki involving anything to do with them being mermaids. Them being mermaids, period. Because every time she tries to include Cleo and Bella in anything that's anything to do with mermaids, he is upset about it. But then, all of a sudden, he wants to be included. So when they actually include him, and Will is also included, he gets so mad that he does the pettiest shit in the world. And then he wonders why they don't ask him. So yeah, I can understand where his justice is coming from, but at the same time, you have an issue. You have an issue when they have anything to do with them being mermaids. So what did you expect? And Kim is just being Kim in this episode, but you know what? Dom sitting there saying nothing but straight Elvis stuff in front of all their friends is embarrassing as hell. So I guess she learned her valuable lesson never to pull that crap again. That's all I got for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the episode and the video. So I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if no one has told you this today, I'm telling you, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, bye guys.